Mr. 70.
70, show us some more magic, my friend. Game 1, you got rocked in the lane, came back super hard for the game. This time around, though, can he reprise that? You know what I'm really worried for, man? These supports on Falcons side, bro, I do not want to be Chen in this game, looking at this draft. It does not look like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're just getting snot rocketed from ZZQ. Like, this is like the idea with Snot Rocket, right? Like, he's going to be tanky. He's going to get like a Pavis and like a Solar Crest, and he's going to build some auras. And then ZZQ is going to walk in and he's going to spit on everyone.
Yep.
And then as he spits on people, they're going to throw damage at him. And then he's going to keep spitting more. And then everyone's going to have negative 35 armor. And then one Quill Spray will one-tap everyone.
Yep.
That's the plan here from ZZQ. I mean, I want to see it work out. I really want to see it work out.
Okay, we've got a little bit of time. Total amount of player deaths, I say 16-25. You good?
I say 26 to 35. I think it's going to be very fast-paced from Team Zero.
Malrine for damage, magic?
Yep.
Player deaths 11 to 15?
Yep.
Roshan 3.
Yep. I think that's fine.
All right. We have consensus. And now we have a very good game of Dota. Ah, bro, they also got 3 bounties. It's over. Wrap it all up.
It's a hard start when you're playing against these greedy supports and they, you know, the thing is, like, when you're playing against these heroes like Pos 5 Bristle, and they just get like that extra like couple hundred gold, means they just get boots faster, and then they just get to like do their weird thing to you just a little bit quicker, you know. So it's like it can actually mean quite a lot when you're playing against these weird Pos 5s.
Well, certainly going to be a weird game as we are now underway in the second game of our group stage. The Team Zero, at the very least, have secured a draw, but now want to make it a little bit more important than that.
I mean, I'm not the pro player here, but I don't think starting with Snot level 1 is good for ZZQ. He's just throwing Snot on crit and then can't get anywhere near him because he's a ranged hero. Like, I got an auto attack. Okay, I'll take it back. Okay, he's a cute goat. Yeah, I'm interested to see what his build plan is, and what the point is with this Bristlebat. Like, I obviously understand the point, but just trying to make it work in this game is going to be very interesting for me to see how Team Zero play around this and whether or not it's going to be something that they're going to do moving forward for a couple of the other series. Because, you know, we saw in previous times some Southeast Asian teams, you know, Position 5 Troll, Position 5 Timbersaw, they can work. But it's about making sure that you're not just kind of throwing this game into the wind because you wanted to try it.
If this was a few years ago, before Doom got like all the armor buffs, when you just start with 0 armor, man, imagine how much you would have hated this lane.
Oh, just gooed and then ran out. Like, you probably would have just gotten Swarm level 2, to be perfectly honest, and you would have just clicked him, and he would have done like 500 damage because he had negative 6 armor at, you know, minute 1.
While Ponlo is leading, snaking away in a bit of a chase, Beyond and Skeeter just playing around each other. I mean, unlike when you're playing Bristleback in this lane, Beyond can't really pressure this DK, but DK can't like completely muscle him out either. So they should be A-okay here. Just trading farm as much as they can.
Yeah, I think it should be a pretty decent lane for Beyond in that bottom side. He's going to be relatively okay. They can't really punish him all too much, especially with Ponlo being able to be around with the cookie. So he should definitely be A-okay. Positive news, though. 7E is the one that's winning this lane.
Hey.
13-5 against the 9-1. So this is kind of one of the positives for having this Slardar hero into the park is you don't ever want to get close enough that this Slardar can bash you. And also he just has such a big base damage kind of lead over the top of you. And it's just so hard for him to fight in the river because he can just stand and take these creeps. And you can see what 7E's already done. He's like double, tripled waves and just made it so he's kind of denying a lot of this experience against Malrine.
He's straight up outplaying him in this mid lane. Looking super solid for him. Already has the bottle, you know, going to start building into the bracer boots. This hero has potential to be really, really scary in this game, man. Like, especially for these supports, like I was saying. If I'm any of them, the moment that I see Slardar missing off the map, I'm starting to fear for my life, especially once he has that blink dagger eventually.
Yeah, I think the positive thing as well is he can kind of gank any side lane, right? Like, he has a lot of kill threat when it comes to the Centaur Snapfire lane because they provide a lot of damage for him. And then on the other side, ZZQ as well as Erica, as long as they put one of their armor debuff spells in and he throws out a Corrosive Haze, he will kill someone. So we've got a lot of positive things here for Team Zero, but also for Falcons, this is a nice little slow game for them to start here. I was expecting this game to be much more fast-paced. We've got a Chen with his position 5 Bristle. I was expecting people to run at each other and punch people in the face, but looks like both these two teams have done the handshake. Gain them too and want to play a nice little slow one.
I don't know if Falcons should be letting them do that handshake. Like, as this game gets scales later and later, it does get pretty terrifying. Okay. Unable to bring down Erica there. Yeah, but I feel like if I'm picking this snowball type of draft, if there's like a Chen or whatever in the game, I want to be ahead by the time we hit 15 minutes. Don't want it to be an even game at that point. Especially when the enemy team has, like, our big hero that can scale in Skeeter. The enemy has more than enough tools to deal with him, regardless of what items he buys later in the game.
Yeah. And I think the crazy thing is, as you start getting later, depending on ZZQ's build order, like, he can start to build into some of these items where he will transition into a core, right? Like, we've seen, him now going into Snot Rocket. Like, this hairball is going to be a big problem as well, right? Like, he's going to get that Aghanim Shard. He gets some of these goo talents as well, is where things really start to get a bit spooky for them. And at level 15, he can just build into Crimson Pipe, and then eventually he's just going to start dealing damage. Erica.
Oh. He's fine. Had the full magic wand out, chilling with his Falcon Blade. For all of my Weaver enjoyers in the chat, please do not forget to buy a Falcon Blade on this hero. And now they're potentially trying to go onto crit, but ZZQ is a little bit too squishy. Ends up being the first blood. Crit is going to end up dying, but Erica in danger too. But here comes Pondlo, came through the Twin Gate. Will they be able to bring down Amar? Oh no, the Centaur Conqueror betraying Team Zero here. But Amar will get caught in by the Scatter Blast. Should almost certainly end up dead here. Erica credited with a double kill for his efforts.
Yeah, I mean, the minus armor really just coming into fruition there. He had 2 stacks of goo on him and the bugs, so it meant that Erica basically half HP'd him with 1 hit of the Germinate attacks, even though he doesn't really have that much of the items. So this is where things are really starting to come together. Fortunately for ZZQ, would have loved that to just kind of turn into their own double kill, but not as tanky as you would think, especially with no levels in the Bristleback. Thought he would have... Yeah, okay, I was going to say he gets one now. Just have that little Bristleback at level 3, just kind of just be a bit of a nuisance. You don't really need quills. Level 1 quills are kind of bad, so a bit of a waste of mana at this point. I would have loved to have just seen, get a little tanky, get a lot of this goo rocket, and then just rely on the Weaver's right clicks to pull you through this lane. But great start already here from Team Zero. Everyone's starting to get their own leads in their lanes, and this is where things get spooky for Falcons, because first item timing with like a BKB or whatever, or a blink, it's going to be hard for Falcons to deal with all this damage.
They do at the very least ensure that their first rotation with the puck ends up being useful. You were mentioning earlier about how good Slara can be with his rotations. Puck also pretty good. Down bottom, you provide the magic damage that they need, and up top, you give them some additional catch onto this Weaver hero.
He has haste.
He might actually still go to the top lane. There's a haste rune here from 7E. Look at the damage that Amar took. What? All right. That just happened. Crit also not necessarily enjoying himself right now, trying to run away, but yeah, you're going nowhere, buddy, except straight to the fountain.
That crush did like 500 damage. What was that? Oh,
that was
I mean,
Dota 2,
minus
my
armor
friend.
strats. Let's go. I mean, how many levels does he have in goo? 3 levels in goo, and I think he had like 2 stacks on him, and he got corrosive hazed, and then maybe bugs. Like, that is like negative like 30 armor already. And he hit him with a crush that deals base... How much damage does it do? 300 damage. 300
Beyond is
physical that
getting
gets
gone on.
amplified.
I think he's gonna die here, and he will. 7E looking to try and avenge his compatriot. The crush going out onto Snake here. Here comes Erica as well. The bugs will connect onto both of these supports. One is already down. Crit needs some help. He needs some assistance. He needs to get the hell out of here. Erica turning targets instead towards Skeeter, who also has a haze on him. He's been snotted to death. And yeah, we see why they went for this draft. And Crit, ooh, ships by night next to Ponlo. Ponlo barely missed him. Sees him now on the observer ward. They're not done chasing. 7E is going to have access to the Guardian Sprint in just a moment. How badly do they want this kill? Oh, they see him crit. Gonna end up dead here. Fire Snap Cookie will come out. He's stunned up right now though, but 7E will find the kill. Beyond also in the mid lane. They have access to the Slithering Crush. Snaking just respawned, guys. Have some mercy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is insane. This is wild. That was a full HP DK. They got half HP by a crush. Like, what is going on, man? This is so cool to watch. This is like something that, like, I think I can't remember who was talking about it. I was talking about it when OG were abusing like just stacking DR, right? This is kind of a pretty similar concept where it's just like you're just stacking amplification of damage on physical damage, which everybody has. So it is just one of those things where you just see like this massive amount of minus armor that like even a spell like Crush, yes, it does do quite a lot of damage. 300 is quite a lot for a physical spell, but it just half HPs people.
Top lane, we're gonna lose the Bristle back, but oh, guess what? We killed Bristle. Oh, it's a support. And the question is, can they get out of here alive? 7E is here. And they get the Dream Coil out onto 7E. Doesn't have that many more allies around him. Ponlo is here. Does have the Fire Snap Cookie, but they commit absolutely everything for that one. That was not just a kill necessary for the map. That was an emotional kill, man.
Yeah, that was Amar saying, you are not crushing us for half of our HPs. And that's where we got a little preview of the Snot Rocket, ladies and gentlemen. They took all that time. That there was 5 to 6 stacks on everyone that was around the Bristleback. So I think these Snot Rockets are going to be pretty annoying in these fights because all he has to do is just build tanky. Like, he needs to take damage. And if he's not taking damage, then he's snotting on people. And then he's still doing what he's designed to do. So I really like this idea from them. It's about whether or not they can keep it together until this Falcons draft comes online. So you're seeing this very interesting start to the game of game number 2 here where Team Zero, they have nothing to lose. And they're doing a really good job of just being aggressive. This is what I wanted to see from them. They're at this point where they have this overwhelming amount of damage that 7E is kind of the player that they really want to play around, and this is where they're putting a lot of these very deep wards.
Poor Crit wandered towards the mid lane, thinking, you know, I should be safe under my tier 1 tower. You thought wrong, buddy. They kill him off. Tier 1 tower should be taken away as well as Erica joins in to aid in this push. Man, this map just feels like a very scary place right now for these heroes on Falcons if they're not like grouped up as a 5-hero combination. Top lane.
Amar had to TP away from the supports.
Yeah, case in point, man. ZZQ's like, oh, you gotta leave. And Snaking, can you get out of here? Okay, Ponlo can't find the angle for the Fire Snap Cookie, so he's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you get like 6 or 7 stacks of goo on you, and you're like, if anybody comes close to me, I die. Like, they just deal so much damage to you that you can't even stand and deliver. So it's all about, not so much about the damage itself, but it's the threat, right? Where it's now at the point where Beyond has this Blink Dagger. I like that he rushed this on the Centaur, just allows him to keep playing fast. And 70 has his own as well. So this is go time if you're Team Zero. They just want to go in and deal damage.
The Blink has been scouted by an Observer Ward, so they should be playing carefully. But now they're just controlling your triangle, taking away your vision. Marino's showing a little bit. He needs to be a bit careful here. He's on 600 health against the Slaughter. It's not a safe place to be at the moment.
They're taking stacks, though. This is massive from Team Zero. They walked in, they found these big old stacks coming in from the side of Team Falcons, and they just took all of them. That was all in ZZQ's hands, by the way. So he just got himself a whole lot of gold, sitting himself nice and healthy above the top of all the supports, and now it's smoke time.
Melreen! He blinked forward. He needs to get out of here, but they do not have the tools to do it. Crit now, trying his best to TP out to safety. Should be able to do so. Oh no, he jaunted forward, Fluke. Oh, that's the worst possible time that could have happened.
Yeah, that's sometimes it's being a puck player, right? Like you're throwing all these orbs out, you're blinking around, you're jaunting, and sometimes you just jaunt into 5 heroes and you lose your life. So fortunately now for Falcons, this is the kind of conundrum that they're in. How do they try and keep this going? There's 2 Blink Daggers up on 2 of these cores. They've got this overwhelming amount of minus armor. They haven't been able to take any of these towers with the Chen as well. They've only taken a tier 1 tower top. Erica's still sitting back and farming. They're still going to take a little bit of time until Malrine as well as Amara are definitely wanting to fight. So they want to try and get aggressive. Okay, seeing if they can try and catch out any of these cores, just trying to over-aggress and seeing if they can try and alleviate the pressure on the map that way. They don't really have the vision for it, though. They've got one ward up in the triangle and one ward towards the top twin gate. But no vision on anybody else just yet. ZZQ, though, against the world. He's snotting.
He's snotting. He's snotting. They do kill him, but 3 instances of snot on everybody. You know, minus 15 casual armor. Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem in team fights. If they put... I honestly think if you're Falcons, you have to ignore him in team fights. You just have to ignore him and just say, whoever gets snotted, then what else we can do? You know, like you're just going to have to die. Whereas instead of putting all this emphasis on trying to take down the Bristle, he's going to snot everyone. And then if 7E gets, you know, 1-2-man crush, gets an amplified damage on anybody, it's just going to hurt. And speaking of crit, whoa, he got whacked.
Yeah. Well, did say that if I'm lying or Chen, I'm terrified about this game. Unfortunately, Crit demonstrating this. You know what's also really weird? I'm looking down at Skeeter, who's farming and trying to get himself into a decent position. He's angling towards a Blink Dagger on this Dragon Knight. Is Blink the way to go here? Because he's not going to have a BKB soon, not going for the Manta Rush. Do you think he needs the mobility more than he needs the stats?
No, I definitely feel like I would have preferred him to go for like just being this big, tanky, scary hero. You know, we saw what K1 was able to do in the previous series up against Extreme, but it looks like they want to play aggressive. They want to try and turn the tides here up against Team Zero. They want to try and fight into these heroes because they are quite scary. You know, like Blink and Armlet, they've got a lot of damage to try and take down some of these heroes, but is it going to be the right hero at the right time? 7E
gets jumped on right now, but he is fairly tanky in his own right. They do drop the Doom on top of his face, so he does die without buyback. ZZQ has shown up as well, just throwing in the Snot Rocket. Everything. Amar right now is sitting with a ton of minus armor, and will Erica show up? Morty's Kiss is being thrown in by Ponlo from the back end of the fight, whilst Erica is trying to lay in the damage, but unfortunately, they lost ZZQ a little bit too soon, so now they need to beat a very hasty retreat from here. Malrine chasing down Ponlo underneath the tier 2 tower, and he will end up dead. They blink forward looking for Erica. They will not find him, but they'll come across Beyond instead. He traps them though, Erica with the Gleipnir underneath the tier 2 tower. The tower is doing some work, but it's not doing enough. Skeeter, Armlet toggles himself to safety. 4 heroes have fallen, and Team Zero finally find themselves on the bad end of a fight here in Game 2 against Falcons.
Yeah, this is why Falcons are one of the top teams in the tournament, right? Where you look at these guys and they just understand the timing that they wanted. They were all on the same page when it came to this DK Blink Dagger, and they got the perfect opportunity. They catch out 7E, they blow up the Slardar. They don't have to worry about this massive amount of physical damage because Erica, you can see in the top part of this replay, he's just not full HP and he's not full mana either. He has to TP into this fight. Fight's already about halfway done. He gets hit with a Breathe Fire straight away, so that a lot of this minus armor isn't really helping him all too much because of the amount of negative damage that he's doing. So right now, you can just see that Team Falcons understand that as long as 7E is dead, then they don't have to worry about all too much.
Also, that fight was for Skeeter. That Blink Dagger just paid for itself immediately, pretty much. That was an excellent way for them to get forward. Unfortunately, they did have to commit pretty much all their ultimates, so there's nothing left in the tank to contest Roshan. And Team Zero will happily claim it. However, Falcons, they needed that kind of fight. It also opens up the tier 1 tower for them in the mid lane at long, long last. Things are starting to look up for them, fam. Things are starting to look up.
Yeah, they're starting to get that hold back in. You can just see the kind of avenue for them to take a lot of these fights as well. But they have to be careful now fighting into an Aegis. They need to make sure they don't overstep their bounds all too far, because that was definitely a very ideal team fight for them. They got rid of 7E, and then they even got a lot more of the Team Zero members to fight into them as well. Fights are going to be harder to come by, especially if they have Erica around with 7E. Smoke now up for Team Zero. They're getting close to the BKB as well on 7E, but they want to try and get a fight before that.
Okay, the Doom and the Dragon Knight are not here right now, so if they can find these heroes inside the jungle, pretty easy pickoffs. Snaking, he will get scouted in a moment. Will they jump in? Of course they will. 7E is there. Alright, let's see how long this takes. He's got corrosive on him and some bugs. And they're gonna get bashed up. He's still
not
alive
dead.
for now, actually. Okay, Scatterblast will eventually bring him down. But that's some promising situations. We do have a Doom now being thrown out onto the Centaur, but it happens after the Stampede, so he gets away from the puck. Team Zero immediately bounding back, trying to find somebody. Oh no, the flag bearer creep. It's Skeeter. It gave the vision. The creeps.
They got him.
They found him. There's no way out for him here. He does not have a BKB. He doesn't even have a TP scroll if he did. And he will be killed off. Yo, some of y'all, we should change the name from creeps, man. These are just allies. They had their back, ensuring the kill onto the DK, and now opening up the tier 2 tower as well.
Yeah, make way, Agent M. It is Agent F for flag bearer, putting out Skeeter there in the trees. And we were just touching on the fact that Falcons are getting themselves back into this game to really be able to hit their timings and play the game they wanted to play. And they just got caught out ever so slightly there. And the fact that Beyond was able to get the Stampede off before getting doomed was absolutely massive. Means they don't have to fight into that. Didn't have to fight into the Dream Coil either. And with Team Falcon, with a lot of those team fight ultis kind of done, like if they don't have Doom and they don't have Dream Coil, things are really hard for them. Like it is very hard for them to try and fight.
They're about to lose crit in this top lane. Straightforward kill. I will say, Malrine saved the bottom lane like a boss. Because as soon as he saw the kill happening onto DK, he immediately went to the back end and started cutting waves. So they couldn't actually apply the pressure properly. Really heads up play. If he doesn't do that, they are down at tier 2 tower right now. Much less real estate to play with. Definitely did the right thing.
Is Zizuki trying to solo a Tormentor?
He's no. Fluke, you're lying to me. This is not happening. Is this happening, dude?
No. He's got hairball.
No way. This is not
Come
happening.
on, ZZQ. Nah, he dies here.
He
He
can't.
dies. Yeah, he got.
Doesn't have enough. If he had like 15 one charges, I think maybe, but not like that. Not like that. Still, though, it's pretty crazy that a POS 5 hero can solo a Tormentor down to like 30% HP.
Yeah, just, I mean, a few more levels in Quills, and that's definitely just a free kill there. So, on the Tormentor. But either way, they're going to put the pressure on their own tier 2, and they can just take this Tormentor. Or Amar, though. He wants to come in and fight. Does not have the blink, though.
Yeah, Skeeter does. He gets directly onto the Slaughter. They doom him. They kill him. They also find the chain disable onto Erica. First life taken away from the Aegis. Ponlo trying to beat a hasty retreat. He gets out, but there's absolutely no way Erica can do the same. And Team Zero, not only do they lose a bit of concentration, they got a bit greedy. They wanted the Tormentor and the tier 2 tower. Team Falcons punished them super hard for that decision.
Yeah, definitely just a little bit of greed there from Team Zero. Just overstepping their bounds. They just didn't really have everybody on the same page, and obviously ZZQ was on the other side of the map. He was having the regen. Beyond had already dipped out at that point, and with both your cores taking all that damage from the Tormentor as well, all it took was Amar to walk up. And that was a kill for them. They also got the Tormentor as well, did Falcon. So again, another swing in momentum going the way back of Team Falcons. They have to be careful of the rebuttal, though. Team Zero, they're just holding out for this BKB on 78. It felt like he's kind of been on this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, his progression has definitely been delayed. 2 of the deaths that he suffered has been since he started angling towards that item. Certainly slowed him down. As a result, also, Erica has been playing a little bit forcefully, trying to find kills, not necessarily just find farms, so a bit delayed in his own BKB as well.
Finish it off.
And that's all.
Sorry, they were doing the Tormentor, and they both walked away when it was on like 1 HP. Just analyst things when you're watching people try and do a Tormentor with one player. All right, now what is the question for Team Zero to wait for? I honestly think they just have to wait for. Okay, BKB is coming out now in 70. Beyond is getting close towards that Crimson Guard as well, so now they can try and be the aggressors. But I think Falcons, they obviously with this net worth lead, they've put themselves in a very strong position. They've got Guardian Greaves to get rid of a lot of the Goo stacks. They've got this Crimson Guard as well. They've got a lot of good stuff for them to be able to try and hold out from this overwhelming physical damage.
Thankfully for them, Doom is already starting to head closer towards the base. Another big item right now for the side of Falcons. You were speaking in the last game about how these pucks start to build into some physical right-click damage. We already have the full Parasma now up on this puck. Malrine is no slouch when it comes to how hard he can hit these heroes in the damage department. Oh, but he's like, oh my god, he almost died. He might still end up doing so. Dreamcoil back onto 2. Skeeter blinking in. He wants 7E, but now 7E pops his BKB. Skeeter doesn't have one of his own. The DK needs to get the hell out of here. Stampede popped as well. They're trying to get these heroes inside. And Erica, he's on the far side, on the west, easily able to right-click down Skeeter. They need to get out of here from the side of Falcons. Amar is in, throws out the Shiva's Guard, trying to create some space. Crit gonna have to be left behind. Can they catch up to anybody else? TP is right in front of their faces. They do not have the ways to cancel them. And the puck also able to angle himself into a safer position. So it's only 2 heroes that died, but man, that situation was so dangerous for Falcons. That really could have been a lot worse than it actually was.
Yeah, there was just a lot of pesky heroes when we're trying to lock down. There was a lot of mitigation that came through with a lot of their auras, though. So Skitter did survive for a decent amount of time, but you can just see that this Dragon Knight is just not a tanky hero when it comes to these fights. And Falcons did pretty well to be able to mitigate the losses that they had there, only losing out on Crit as well as Skitter. So the way this game is going, when you can see these 5v5 fights, they went on a Slardar who has 2.7k HP and a full BKB. So it's just not having that extra bit of follow-up to try and take down that Slardar just meant that fight was not going to go the way they wanted. I thought there was definitely going to be a straight disengage after Malrine got out of that kind of scot-free. So again, Falcons testing the waters, and unfortunately the waters bit back.
"25 minutes into the game right now. Still, Team Zero have equalized the goal lead, but the game still hangs quite closely in the balance. What's Skeeter bringing in right now? Is that his BKB?
No, it's a full Bloodthorn, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
The BKB for him is a bit spicy.
I mean, I guess on the one hand, he's thinking to himself, well, all the sources of like physical damage and minus armor goes through the BKB anyway, but even still, these stuns are a big problem for him in these fights.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Like, it just gives him a bit of that extra movement around the fights, gives him that extra bit of HP, a little bit of damage as well, but wants to try and get the quick kills with the Bloodthorn.
Skeeter is actually jumping forward directly onto Ponlo. They wanted to try and burst down the Snapfire. They failed to do so. Now they need to get the hell out of here. Beyond has blinked in like 5 seconds. 7E finds the crush onto Skeeter. But I think on the side of Team Zero, they're just comfortable with not dying. They're happy with this.
Yeah, they shoved both of their top and bottom Creep Wave pretty heavily, so them not losing anything out of that, they only got a little bit of tick damage onto that Tier 3 tower, means that Team Zero are more than happy with that. BKB fully completed now on Erica as well. 7E is getting close towards that Aghanim Scepter. He was hard to take down before. And Beyond's finished up all of the auras, so we just have to be careful here if you are Falcon. There's a lot of damage that's going to come out from Malrine, but if he gets caught by one stray stun and doesn't get that Waning Rift or his Blink or Phase Shift or anything off, he could be in trouble. And speaking of trouble, Malrine's here.
Malrine is indeed here. Can they catch him is the question. No, they cannot. They're so lucky on the side of Falcons that Malrine did that, because Amar was potentially the target instead. They do not want to lose their Doom early. Beyond jumping directly onto the chair, not killed off just yet. There's going to be some bugs on the ground as the Doom flew in onto Beyond. ZZQ snotting absolutely everywhere, giving some opening for Erica and 7E to dish out damage onto the 2 supports, snaking the fall. Crit, can he get out of here as Ponlo dropping down the Morty's Kisses? They almost kill Erica. He gets off the time lapse. This Weaver just cannot be contained right now. It's only Amar and Skeeter left. 7E drops down the stun. It catches Amar. They're kiting them, they're creating some angles of space, but here is Snaking having brought back, looking towards Erica, able to kill him off. They didn't have enough in the tank to deal with Skeeter and with Amar, and of course Malrine was wreaking havoc with that double damage rune. It's a fight that was tough, it looked, for the side of Falcons, but they end up outplaying Team Zero pretty heads up in that one.
Yeah, a lot of kiting. A lot of kiting came out in that last fight. You can just see that they tried to commit on snaking, but they just took too long. They took way too long to try and kill those supports. There was a lot of the BKB got used there by 7E. Malrine, Amar, and Skitter just freely able to go around in these team fights. You can see the amount of goo that's happening from ZZQ, but if you're not getting your 2 cores to get these right clicks in, and with a lot of this damage mitigation, it's very hard for you to try and confirm these kills. So you need to try and find a lot more of these fights where 7E is able to stick onto a target. Same thing with Erica. It feels like every single time that I look at these fights, Erica has almost no mana because Crit's able to just kind of stand there and get these mana drains off on basically everybody in these team fights. So Falcons, they've done a really good job at weathering the storm from Team Zero, which has been this massive minus armor kind of strat, and they've really been able to build for it now, and it's all on Team Zero to try and get these team fights going the way that they want them to, because as long as they are not getting, you know, their puck instantly blown up or, you know, their Dragonite getting caught alone, Team Falcons are happy with how these fights are going because they have so much sustain and so many of these auras.
Also going to start building into some ACs next. Omar has fixed his armor problem, got Crimson Guard, Shivas, AC coming. Skeeter, maybe they're going for double AC, I'm not sure, but either way, they're trying to counter this minus armor strat coming in from Team Zero. Now Team Zero will be in a bit of a pickle. Aegis push coming in from Skeeter. Tier 3 tower already at half HP, and this time around they do not have access to the Tree and Protector. ZZQ getting jumped on. They're trying to burst him down quickly. He's still alive for now though. Able to get himself back. So they do not kill off this Bristleback. 7E now jumping in on top of Skeeter. The bugs will fly in from the Weaver as well. With the Gleipnir and the Morty's Kisses, this should be the first life away from the DK. And indeed it is. The Doom flew out onto 7E, but he pops BKB and just runs himself away. And now Beyond finding the stun out onto Skeeter. Can they get him out of here on the DK? Starting to armlet toggle right now. And 7E is still in base, healing up. So you won't be here to lay in some additional crushes. I think Team Falcons should be able to retreat.
Yeah, decent hold there from Team Zero. They had to utilize everything. So did the side of Team Falcons though. So getting the kill there onto Skidder is going to make him a little bit more nervous going high ground in these next couple of minutes, because Team Zero, they want to fight as well. They know that there is still no BKB up here on Skidder, and he does not want to go for the BKB anyway, so we want to see if they can find him out here.
Get him. Stampede was popped for this one. And he's still really tanky with the Shiva's Guard. And now look at this. Skeeter jumped in on the backlines looking for Erica. They want to burst down this Weaver. They can't do it just yet. But now, with Maureen showing up, they do. He's down without buyback. Skeeter, though, might die. They try to force off him away. He's at the corner of the fight. He's dishing in so much damage, Fluke. The burst damage from the AoE of this dragon. Yes, he will die, but he put in a lot of work before he went down. But now, Beyond finding a 3-hero stomp into a multiple hero crush. But unfortunately, their HP pools are a little bit too low. Both Beyond and 7E end up dead. Amar with the triple onto Ponlo secures the team wipe. And Team Falcons, baby. Minus armor for what? We will just out-sustain you nonetheless.
Crit actually just hard carried that entire team fight. He got, what, like 3 or 4 multi-hero Earth Spikes to stop all of this initiation. If he wasn't in the position that he was in and he was the guy that was getting going on, these fights would look so different. Look, first one hits onto 2 of the cores. He's able to just sit back, get these mana drains going. They're able to get the amount of damage to be able to take down Erica. Massive for them. Doesn't overcommit, knows that he can't get too close to any of these heroes. Eventually, they will take down Skidder after taking so much damage. Another massive Earth Spike coming in from Crit. He sits back, he mana drains, he holds off on this Earth Spike because he knows that eventually this Earth Spike will be able to win the fight for them. Everybody's almost dead. Bang. And it is all over. Red Rover fought the side of Team Zero. And that was just one of those fights where I think it's just gotten to the point now where this minus armor strat is kind of gone out the window. Like, it will get to a critical mass, right? Like, where it's like, okay, it's taking X amount of armor, but if we just build armor, then all of that X armor doesn't turn into negative armor. It just turns into, you know, we're only got 1 or 2 armor. So it's not like we're getting 3 hit, you know, it takes 6 or 7 hits for us to get done. So it's kind of at that critical mass now, Snare, where it is very hard for Team Zero to start winning these fights because everybody's oh so tanky. There's so much damage on the side of Falcons.
I think definitely in future, if they see Amar, they're going to give him a wide berth. Not the guy to go on first. Definitely try to isolate and find... It has to be Crit at this point, right? Snaking, as we've seen already, takes way too long to kill. Amar is clearly too tanky. They need to find and deal with this Lion. But Crit's positioning has been excellent, and that was before he picked up the Blink Dagger. Now he has it, so he can position even further back, even harder to catch out by these heroes.
Yeah, I think he's just doing so much work in a lot of these team fights that you kind of just need to burst him down. He's going to be one of the easier ones to take down. Can they get it?
Will get hit with the Finger of Death. He's still away right now. Beyond finding the stun. Back onto Skeeter underneath the tier 4s. They throw out these Morty's Kisses. Do they have what it takes to kill Skeeter here? He's getting healed up, but look who they killed first. They took down Crit. And now they're just surrounding Skeeter. He eventually will fall. Everybody else getting the hell out of dodge. Okay, looks like they were listening, fam. Take down Crit, win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ponlo kind of put it perfectly there. They went so deep to try and kill Ponlo. This is the second time that they've dived to try and take down Ponlo. They haven't killed him. So there has to be something in the backs of their minds here for Falcons that is making it worth for them to try and dive and take down Ponlo here. Yes, trying to get the kill inside of the base is big, but now this is a big momentum shift for the side of Team Zero. Not only did you go so deep into their base that you didn't really get anything out of it, it's now at the point where they're starting to get the snap back with a lot of their creeps hitting into these tier 2 towers. So things are looking a bit spicy here for Falcons, and see what happens as soon as they lose Crit, right? Like he goes down and they don't have that extra bit of disable, and it's basically like at that point, what does the Doom and the Dream Call do for you if Crit's off the table?
Just got a Blink Dagger coming in for this Doom. Okay, Skeeter, after that fight, he's queued up BKB. It's always like this. Yeah. You know, you're doing really well as the carry. Mate, we don't really need the BKB. You have one, like, horrendous death, and you're like, yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, like, I understand the idea behind it, right? Like, they've got Bash that goes through BKB. They've got, you know, like, all this other extra stuff that goes through BKB, but it just means that you don't just get, like, randomly cookied, and then you get crushed, and then you get who-stomped. Like, you actually have a way of combo breaking and potentially getting yourself away, because we've seen how extended a lot of these fights are. And if you get yourself that little bit of extra, you know, distance between you and the enemy, then that could mean survival or death, you know?
I just realized something. I'm looking at Hoof Stomp as a spell name. Are there any other spells that have the name of, like, a body part on them?
Now you're really testing my knowledge. A body part?
Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Oh no! Erica!
There's buyback.
He gets jumped, killed, he buys back immediately. They want to take this fight. He even time lapses into the engagement beyond, looking towards killing off Crit. They want this Lion. He's still alive right now though. Going in, get some spell immunity from the mana drain. Eventually though, he will fall. And Skeeter not feeling very happy about where he's at right now. Erica. But they want to kill Erica off first, and Erica will die. That's a dieback for the Weaver. Huge play there. Skeeter now still decently fine in terms of the HP department, and beyond run out of mana and health. ZZQ in the same position. And 7E going to be forced to just watch them die. Honestly, Fluke, I think this game is over. He bought back on the Weaver. He can't come back into this. Now that they managed to kill Beyond, 7E will certainly fall here. Both of them have buyback, but neither of them have the damage necessary to dissuade Falcons from just destroying the base.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? They just don't have the damage, and you can just see they're getting a lot of these good initiations, but even Crit themselves is so strong. They're going to buy back and see if they can fight here with the first picked up BKB.
Don't have any ultimates left on the side of Falcons. Okay, 7E and Beyond going forward. Morty's kisses raining in onto Skeeter, but it's not enough damage. Malreen even silences him. And now Skeeter flapping his wings in the Dragon Knight form. He's just too damn powerful right now. Another stun from Crit catches on the 2. They wipe them out. They take the game. GG, well played is called. And Falcons demonstrate that they will not go gently into